Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Biotech Talk. It is an exciting time of the year as we close out the year 2022 and usher in 2023. And with that comes a lot of planning. Most people are planning out their new year, how they want to see their new year, what they want to accomplish, what goals they would like to see accomplished in the next year. And some of those goals might be trying to understand, am I going to keep the same job, or do I want to seek out new roles within the same company, or do I want to seek out new opportunities outside the company altogether? And some of us may be contemplating whether to switch out your careers altogether. With all that being said, there's a common denominator to all these where you're going to need to write a resume, or you're going to need to update your resume to make sure that it reflects the most current or the cumulative experience that you have, so you can put your best foot forward as you post this resume to job boards. So with that being said, what are the key points? What are the main parts of a resume that you want to highlight to make sure that your resume get the attention of the reviewer? Christy DePaul wrote an article in Harvard Business Review in the year 2020, which is pretty recent. And in this article, they did a survey which they found out that any hiring manager or recruiter will spend only 7 seconds reviewing your resume. Only 7 seconds to review your entire resume, regardless of how long it is. So this tells you that you need to make sure your resume is as short as possible, but with quality content. So in this instance, quality is better over quantity. Do not focus on the length of or making sure that your resume is long. Make sure that you have quality within a page or two. You don't want your resume longer than 2 pages. If you can fit it in 1 page, that is awesome. If you want to extend it 2 pages, it's not too bad. But anything longer than that is not going to be reviewed in its entirety. Remember, this hiring manager or recruiter has only 7 seconds on your resume. So how do you make sure that within that 7 seconds, they have all the information that they need to move you forward to the next phase of the hiring process rather than trashing your resume? In my experience as a hiring manager, I've come to understand, in relation to other research articles that I've seen out there, there are 4 parts that you need to ensure that are highlighted in your resume. And these will give you a spot in that interview table. And having said that, there's just one other part that is, I would say, less important but still important, is your contact information. You need to make sure that you have your address. You need to make sure that you have your phone number, and you have your email, and you have your name, of course. And for your address, you don't need to put the entire address. You can just put the city and the state, or city and country, depending on the region where you're from. Now, underneath that is the most important part of the resume, which is the summary. The summary part, you need to ensure that you put all the important information, your major accomplishment over your career, what you want to highlight for that particular role or for that particular job posting, which is very critical that you review the job posting, the job description, before you write your resume, because you want to make sure that the language, the key points, the key phrases in the job posting are reflected in your resume, especially in your summary section. And do not get me wrong, I'm not saying you need to plagiarize your resume against the job posting. Do not do that. No. But what you need to do is to make sure that you are familiar with the job description, the job posting, so that you can write your resume in a manner that will be identified easily with the job in relation to. The reason I'm saying that is important is because most companies nowadays, they're using artificial intelligence to do the initial review of the resumes. So the AI system will do the initial parse of the resume before proceeding over to the hiring manager. So if the AI is not going to pick up those keywords, those key phrases in the job posting, then the AI is going to discard your resume and it's not even going to make it to the hiring manager. So that is very important to note. And the other part of that is the hiring manager will be looking for those key points and those key phrases also within the job posting. So if they don't see that, they only have 7 seconds, remember. If they don't see that within those 7 seconds, then your resume will go in trash rather than moving forward. So you need to make sure that your summary captures exactly your experience, your accomplishments, that is going to portray to the hiring manager that this is who I am and this is what I'm bringing to the table and this is how I'm going to improve, or this is how I'm going to support your agenda or your goals as a company. I'll give you an example. I would write something like this: an outstanding biotechnology professional who thrives in competing priorities and challenges brought by the ever-changing business needs due to the dynamic market demands. Leveraging program management tools like the Gantt chart, I can manage several manufacturing projects while identifying any potential risks and mitigations thereof. So with that being said, you need to make sure that you are saying, this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to do it. And that is a good summary that you need to put forward. The next section is the skills. You need to make sure that you are highlighting the skills that you have. You need to make sure that you are using also the same key phrases and key words within the job description to highlight the skills that you have. If you are very skilled in Microsoft Excel or Microsoft PowerPoint or Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Planner, things like those, make sure that you are highlighting those. And any other skills that you may have, make sure that those are really well highlighted within the skills section. And the third one is the experience. You need to make sure that you're listing your experiences from your most current role and going in descending order. And within this section, you need to make sure that you are not just putting the job description. You are not saying, this is what I do or this is what I'm required to do. You need to put or list down what you have accomplished within those experiences. For example, the best way to demonstrate a clear example is to use numbers and percentages. So you need to say, I accomplish a certain percentage by doing XYZ. For example, you can say, developed a training plan for the sales team with emphasis on personal or people relations and service over sales that saw an increase in sales of $20,000 per month, which translated to about 10% increase in annual revenue. So when you do that, you are portraying that I have experience in doing this, leveraging that, and these are the results. So that will tell the hiring manager that, hey, this person has what I'm looking for and they have done it. And then they will give you a shot again at the interview table. Remember, resume will only get you to the interview table and then you will need to do the rest from there. The last section on this, which is also equally important, is listing your education. So here is where you list all your diplomas, starting from the highest that you have achieved and descending from there. And also this is where you highlight any certifications that you have done. Remember, any opportunity that you get, do certifications to support your diploma. In this day and age, just having diploma is not enough. There are so many certifications out there that are very powerful, and we can talk about those later on in other sessions. But the education session, again, is where you list your education starting from your highest attained education, and you need to make sure that you are listing the type of diploma, the institution that you got it from, and the year that you attained it. And again, list any certifications that you may have. So with that being said, Again, just in summary, make sure that you are privy to the job posting, the job description, and leverage that to make sure that you match your resume to the job posting. And that is why it is important to have different versions of your resume depending on what role you're applying. Do not use a blanket resume to apply to different roles. That is never a good idea. So again, just make sure that you are privy to the job posting, the job description, and leverage that to write out your experience within your resume without plagiarizing your resume against the job description, because that's a bad idea. And with that being said, look below in the description for the link to the Business Harvard Review article that I mentioned, and there you can get more information on resumes. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and good luck in the new year, and happy new year and happy job hunting. Good luck with everything.